Hello guys, today I want to review something that I don't think anyone should ever buy at all whatsoever. And before we get into that, I just want to say I know it's been a while since the very last time I made a YouTube video. Mainly I've been posting on my TikTok. I got a lot more followers on there. But without further ado, I'm just going to tell you how it is, and this is just not something anyone should ever buy. Brunt work boots. Now I know you're thinking, Hunter, those look just a little bit worn out. They're not that bad. Well, if you're talking about the sole, you'd be correct. The sole withstood everything. But the leather quality is trash. The insides, here, I'll just pull the sole out. How about that? Look at that. Top piece came off, and they're supposed to come with two insoles. One you can take out, one you can keep in. I have small feet, not very wide either, so that could be the reason why. Leather quality sucks, as you can tell. I mean, look at that. You can see the plastic toe they got in there. Um, these are horrible. I mean, basically, Brunt boots are basically just decoration, if anything. I mean, the structural integrity of these boots absolutely sucks. The quality's not very good. The only thing they really got going for them is they're comfortable out of the box. But I want to show you something that I do like, that I've had for years now. There's a bee that won't leave me alone. Gosh dang, go away. Leave me alone, brother. Gosh. Okay. These right here, Thorogoods. I 100% recommend Thorogoods over Brunt. And let me tell you why. The sole, look at that. It might be a little worn right there, but these have lasted me since 2022. Now, why did I buy the Brunts? I just wanted a pair. I saw them all over the internet and I wanted to try them. And I just want to, if y'all don't believe me that these aren't very good quality, I mean, they look like I've had them for years now, but I've only worn them for a total of about 9 months. And like I said, I barely ever wore these things. And look at that. Look at how bad the toe is on there, man. Look at that. And yeah, I do kick things a lot, but look, I kick things with my Thorogoods every day, and they haven't even worn out that bad. Because Thorogoods are made out of real, legitimate leather. Now, I'm not sure what these are made out of. It doesn't feel like very good quality leather to me. I mean, look at that. I mean, I could do that when I first got them as well. Very flimsy. But I got these. I oiled them up when I first got them. And they have lasted me about, I mean, I've worn them since 2022. And I've got better wear out of these than I have out of my Brunts. So, no. I would not recommend buying Brunt boots. Like I said, the structural integrity of these boots is absolutely horrible. Like I said, I barely ever wore these things. The only time I really wore them was the winter time. And you'd think they'd hold up better being waterproof, as it says right there, but they'd still leak water every time I'd wear them in the snow. Regardless of being waterproof or not, they still did. And yeah, I just would not recommend buying Brunt boots at all whatsoever. Look, if you're looking to save money, go buy a used pair of boots off like Marketplace. There's hundreds of pairs. In fact, if you actually do want to save a lot of money, Go to your local Western store if you're looking for a wood sole pair of boots and get a pair of these. Twisted X's. And you can get these in steel toe too. Like they sell steel toe versions at the Western store in my town. This is the only pair I have of them. They're basically just shoes, but it's whatever. I usually wear them to church. But they do make steel toes versions of these. And these are a lot higher quality leather than the Brunts. Even these are. So yeah, if you're looking to cut corners and you want to look cool and you work in an office somewhere and you want to look like you don't work in an office, and yeah, buy a pair of Brunts. You will never wear them out. They'll look good on you. Because if you're actually wearing these on a job site, a plant, a mill, any environment where you're going to get dirty and you're going to have a rough time and you're going to get in it, like you're going to have to kick stuff around, you're going to have to crawl around through dirt, sawdust, grease, oil, would not recommend these because I've done all that. I've walked through mountains of sawdust and somehow I still managed to get sawdust in these boots. And no, I do not have my pants tucked into them. I still get sawdust in them somehow. Not sure how, but I do. And yeah, I just would not recommend these. Be smart. Go to your local boot store if you have one in your town. Buy a pair of Thorogoods. Like I said, I've had that pair since 2022 and never replaced them. Because they're just that good. They're that good of quality. I would 100% recommend them. And if you don't want to buy Thorogoods, buy a pair of Carolinas. They're just as good. Carolina, Thorogood, Nick's Handmade Boots. They got some good ones. Irish Setter. I would totally recommend Irish Setter. Great for construction work. What else? Just spend a couple more dollars and get something nice for yourself. But I mean, if you work in an office and you want to look like you work blue collar, then yes, buy a pair of Brunts. You won't wear them out, and they'll look just fine. But yeah. And another thing I probably should have mentioned earlier, do not buy these if you have narrow feet like I do. I mean, these are supposed to fit with narrow feet. They say that if you have a wider foot, you're supposed to take the first sole out and they'll fit better. But regardless, my feet still slid around in them a lot. Not saying that's what caused all the wear and tear, but the insides, yes. And as well as that, oops, I have to take the camera over here to show you this. But if you can see in there, I did have to, let me see. How do I show you all this? Yeah, I need better lighting. I did end up having to cut most of the inside out just for my foot to be able to slide in and out of it a lot better. So that's definitely not very good it's definitely not a very good characteristic for a work boot to have. And I've had many pairs of boots over the years that have done that, and they were all under $100. You know how much these boots cost? Give or take about 140, 150 bucks, I believe. I'm not sure how much I spent on them. But you'd think a pair of boots that cost more than $100 wouldn't do that. So yeah, I would not recommend buying a pair of Brunts unless you work in an office and you want to look like you're blue collar. Would not recommend it. I mean, I work in a mill every day. I mean, it's not the best job ever. It's a job. I do have bigger dreams. I do want to get a better job one day, but I would not recommend wearing these. Working in a mill, working construction, doing any of that. I've seen TikTok videos and whatnot of people who have had Brunt boots, and they don't even have to review them. They just got to take a video of them, and you know that they're not good. They're not good quality. The characteristics suck, and I believe Thorogood is the way to go. Yes, the soles on these are a little darker. That's only because I walk around in sawdust and grease all day, so That's why they're like that. But besides that, I believe Thorogood, Irish Setter, and Carolina are the three best boot companies you can get. I'm talking about wood sole boots. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but when it comes to wedge sole boots, I believe those are the three best companies besides Red Wing. But Red Wings are very expensive, so if you don't want to spend like $300 on a pair of Red Wings, these were about $300. But I mean, Red Wing. I mean, I guess Red Wings. We could throw them in there as the list of good boots you can wear. I've never had a pair of Red Wings. I've always wanted a pair, but they don't have. There's no store in town that sells them, so I just stick with the Thorogoods. But yeah, I would not recommend Brunt. All right, I'm gonna end it right here. Y'all have a great day. Don't buy Brunt.